trades Caldwell-Pope Cole Anthony for unprotected first-round picks and 1 first-round pick swap Sunday. The move represents a massive swing for Orlando to compete in the Eastern Conference. For the Grizzlies, it's an opportunity to add a championship defensive wing backcourt depth and a major haul of picks. So, Wendy, I just said the Magic took a massive swing for Bane. Fill in the blanks on why this went down.
Okay, so first off, let me just break this into 2 pieces, talk about Orlando really quick. This is Orlando sniffing opportunity in the Eastern Conference, especially with the Celtics dealing with the Tatum injury, knowing that they need shooting and offense, going out and targeting a player, saying that's the guy we want. They haven't made a player trade. Guys, the last time they made a player acquisition trade where they got a player and not a draft pick was for Markelle Fultz like 4 years ago, okay, who was like buy low type of guy. So they put everything that they got into this, believing that Desmond Bane is a difference-making player. All right, that's what Orlando did. They paid a huge price. That's a topic. More interesting to me is what this signals for the Grizzlies. Because what you have here is a team in the middle of a pack in the Western Conference where there's an arms race, okay? I got coaches and executives thinking that there's 13 or 14 teams out of the 15 in the West that are going to try to go for it next year. The Grizzlies are in the middle of that. They take a core player in his prime under a controllable long-term contract, and they trade him in a draft pick-based trade. With all due respect to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he did not have a good year last year. This is a draft pick-centric trade. You're going, wait a minute, what's going on here? Now, what I'm here to tell you is that the Grizzlies' message to anybody who will listen, whether it's media or other teams, is we're retooling, not rebuilding. We're going to try to sign Jaren Jackson Jr. to a contract extension in the next few weeks, and we're not trading Ja Morant. We're still fully invested in Ja Morant. I see that. Actions over words. They can sign Jaren Jackson. I think this trade actually opens up some more salary maneuverability where they can get that done. But I'm going to stop short and just take a step back because that's what the other executives and other teams are telling me last night. They're saying to me, well, they're not trading Ja Morant now because his value is not where they want it to be anyway. So the Ja Morant trade is not happening now. But this move does not signal confidence in this core because they are, with all due respect, a worse team on paper than they were yesterday in a very tight Western Conference. So actions over words. Let's see the action of signing Jaren Jackson. And Stephen A., Ja Morant can sign a contract extension this summer. Let's see the action of whether he signs it or whether it's offered. Let's keep an eye on the Grizzlies.
First of all, a couple of things. Number one, I want to be mindful of, let's not hate on Ja Morant. Ja Morant has been perpetually injured. I know the suspensions and all of that stuff happen, but you make mistakes, you grow from it, you learn, let's move forward. The real problem with him is availability, not capability, because he's been injured a lot. We understand that, right? The other side to it is that I'm looking at Memphis right now, and I'm saying to myself, it looks like you won because you got 4 unprotected first-round picks. I mean, Desmond Bane, who I love, by the way, the brother averaged nearly 18 points a game, shot 41% from 3, one of the better shooters in the NBA, make no mistake about it, but he's never been an all-star. I'm trying to figure out how him and Mikal Bridges, you give up 4 unprotected first-round picks for these guys. I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot. This is not Kevin Durant. This is not LeBron. This is not a Steph Curry or somebody. To give up 4, Luka, for example, to give up 4 first-round picks unprotected is a concern for me. Now, where things get a bit interesting with Desmond Bane, I'm just looking at some of these numbers. One of 3 NBA players with 800 made three-pointers and 40% three-point shooting since entering the league in 2020 and has shot 43% on catch-and-shoot attempts. Why does that matter? The Magic, dead last in three-point field goal percentage at 31.8% this past season. Dead last in catch-and-shoot threes at 32.7% this season. The Magic had been the worst three-point field goal percentage in the team in a season since the Lakers in 2015, 2016. So I get all of that. Adding him to Banchero, to Wagner, to Jalen Suggs is an upgrade. Orlando is saying we're coming. They're not messing around. So if you're the Knicks, you're Detroit, you're Indiana, you're Cleveland, you're Boston without Jason Tatum, look the hell out. Orlando is trying to make some noise here. And Banchero, I think, is just a star. This brother is just going to ascend. He's one of those dudes. I'm just reticent about 4 unprotected first-round picks. That's my only issue with this. There's no shade on Bane whatsoever. The brother can play.
Including the Suns pick next year.
Including the Suns pick next year. I'm worried about that. That's a bit much. To me, if you're making a deal like that, you're saying this move puts us in championship contention.
Right.
And I don't know if it does that. That's my only issue. Nothing about Bane. He can play. He can play. But that's a lot.
I don't know, Stephen. I would disagree with you. I think that's going for what market value is these days. And I would say that the addition of Desmond Bane does put them in championship contention. I mean, look at the East right now. What's Cleveland going to do? They're going to run it back? What are the Knicks going to do?
Okay.
I mean, I understand we're watching the Pacers right now, and the Pacers are a really good basketball team. We see the window being open with Boston. I was just with J.B. Bickerstaff in Detroit. Okay, but this thing is wide open. I mean, you're talking about a guy who is a career 40% three-point shooter who averages 6.5 attempts per game. That's efficiency. So I know there's some questions around what they're doing, what he does defensively at times. But getting Jalen Suggs back with Anthony Black, with Paolo Banchero, with Franz Wagner. I mean, you're talking about a team that is right there that can contend for an Eastern Conference championship and an NBA championship.
Okay.
So I would highly disagree with you in that regard.
Well, you know what? I stand corrected because you're right. Looking at the Eastern Conference, they obviously could compete. So you're right about that, Jay. I guess my bigger point was 4 first-round picks. Listen, you can't say it's the going rate when the only person we've seen that done for is Mikal Bridges for a non-All-Star. You know, I mean, Bane is damn good. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not throwing any shade on him whatsoever. I'm simply saying, you know, Caldwell-Pope Cole Anthony, and you give up a couple of unprotected first-round picks. Okay, I can get that. 4 of them? 4 of them? For a guy that I'm just saying, when you say that's the going rate, the only person that's been done for is Mikal Bridges, and we know that was because Brooklyn was dealing with New York.
Let me add some context.
Sure.
So the trade for Mikal Bridges, the first 2 picks being delivered from that trade are in this draft. They're picks 19 and 26. And in that trade, Bojan Bogdanovic was traded. That's a forgotten name. Bojan Bogdanovic was traded to the Nets. The Nets paid him over $20 million this year. He didn't play 1 game. So part of what that was paying for was picks that were not that high. Now, I don't know what the Knicks' 2029 unprotected first is going to be. Maybe they'll be the number 1 pick in the draft for all I know. So that's one thing. You also got to look what else is in the trade. In this trade, and again, I do not want to smear the name of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. However, he just had probably his worst season in 10 years. He's got 2 years and $44 million left on his contract. That's not a contract that has value in trade. So because the reason I'm bringing this up, Stephen A., is because people are going to see this trade and they're going to say, well, if Desmond Bane's getting 4 first-round picks, then Kevin Durant's got to get 6. It's not quite that way because they're not just paying for Bane, they're also paying to offload KCP. I just want to add that context.
All right, we got to leave it there, gentlemen. Plenty more First Take on the way. When we come back, Kevin Durant has narrowed his trade destinations, gentlemen. Should he be the number 1 option on his next team? We have a take that you have to hear. And Caitlin Clark returned and showed out in a big way. What does her return mean for the W? Rebecca Lobo